evening, everyone. Welcome to the show. You're watching Seeing the Unseen with Christopher LaPratt. My name's Kenan, the producer of the show. Now, tonight's title, Objective Individuality. There's some great things to say about that, but first, a quick piece of housekeeping for anyone who's out there joining us for the first time. Say something in the chat so I know you're here. Once I know you're here, we put you in line for a reading. Of course, the first time there's no charge, and going forward after that, it's $10 per reading, or you can also pay $100 and cover the entire month, which the show runs 3 times per week. That's normally Sunday, Monday, and Wednesday at 6 p.m. Arizona time. So I feel like the $100 a month is a pretty sweet deal since it saves you money if you're going to be here for every show anyway. Now, a quick thought before I turn it over to Christopher for the evening. It's that we suffer only because of ignorance of our true nature. And that's this idea that we're perceiving duality instead of unity, right? So changing our degree of suffering is essentially a matter of adjusting our own receptivity to spirit, because spirit works for us by working through us. So just allow it. Now, with more to say, here's Christopher. Thanks for listening. Enjoy the show.
Hey, happy Sunday night, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. And I light this incense in honor of you, for you to have the energy, the wisdom to remember who you are, who you actually are. Not who someone has told you that you are, not what you've thought or learned through education, religion, politics, work, peers, but actually who you are. Remember who you are. And I wanted to share something from Laurel tonight. Laurel's in Texas. She and I have been friends for, 20, 25 years. And she's an amazing performer. So she texted me this. She said, because I wanted to give you a little bit of reference as to what Kenan was talking about with objective individuality. And I want to repeat this slowly. I know he's already said it. We suffer because of ignorance of our true nature. Spirit works for us by working through us. And I really feel like this illustration, what I'm going to read you from what Laurel experienced this weekend, is a great reminder and help with that. So Laurel says, I had 2 performances this weekend. She has her own band, Laurel and the Hardys, which is awesome. So I had 2 performances this weekend. And each one, I was reaching out to my girl, Eartha Kitt. I was asking her to help me be the songbird that I am and have a strong voice, and boy, did she come through. Actually, I heard her. She's a little bit sassy, but it was funny because there was a moment on stage last night and I was like, girl, this is where I need you. Sorry, Laurel, I'm laughing. I just love how you write. Girl, this is where I need you. And she goes, don't worry, I got you. And I sang like I have never sung before. It was epic. I had never heard her talk back to me. So it was really interesting to realize that it was actually her. And then after the night was over and I was driving home, I thanked her for being there, being with me, and getting me through, because you really should always thank your angels and guardians. And then she says this. Laurel, thank you so much for sharing this. She says, I have to say, having the courage to believe in myself and that my angels and guardians are supporting me really gives me comfort and strength of knowing I could do anything. And I had the most excellent shows Friday and Saturday, and last night was the most epic I have ever had. I'm going to share this picture with you of her on stage. There you are, Laurel, performing. Wait a minute, is that Eartha Kitt by you? I love it. So let me repeat this, what Kenan said. Spirit works for us by working through us. And the more that we recognize and know what our true nature is, the more spirit can come through. And so it's also a reminder, as I've told every one of you, I had a client that I was talking to today, and he's done some major motion pictures, director. And I said, the most famous directors, the most famous people, Eartha Kitt, that are on the other side can guide us. They can help us. You just have to ask. And they will be there to direct and help you. If you're in real estate, the greatest real estate agents that ever lived may be on the other side. If whatever job that you have, whatever it is that you're facing, they are there to help you. Jared, the greatest business owners, Kat, the greatest business owners that have ever lived. You can call on the Rockefellers. I mean, I'm not being facetious. I mean it. And and Laurel, thank you for sharing and actually hearing Eartha Kitt and having her help you when you're on stage. Yes, we could pray for angels, but sometimes they're very tangible spirit beings that have lived here on the earth, and they know what it's like, and they can give you that direction, which is really important. So wherever you need help with, call upon those higher guides, those angels, those beings that even some of them that have been here on the earth, that have been through it, and they know how to do things. So I love that, Laurel. Thank you for sharing that, because that is an example of spirit working for us by working through us. Okay, which then goes into our group card tonight. The Soul Star activation, we've talked about this before on the show. Most people are familiar with chakras, these energy centers that we're comprised of. The base chakra, the power chakra, the heart chakra, the throat chakra, the third eye chakra. This one, the Soul Star activation, that is a chakra that is about 6 inches to 12 inches above our head. And it is it connects us directly with soul wisdom. It connects us directly with, I don't really like to call it higher self, because that higher self is a part of us. It's not like up there. It's actually who we are, but it activates that higher self within us. It's like our inner knowing. It's trusting that inner knowing. And it's about remembering who we are. And it's about, in any way, shape, or form, are you willing to let go of playing small? Of acquiescing to people that are in the know? Because are they really in the know? But it's just these conditionings. This is an example of suffering because of the ignorance of our true nature. So when we're children, we listen to these giants who are 6 foot tall. They're called parents, and they loom above us. And so, gosh, what they say it has to be true, or even how they behave. Oh my gosh, that has to be true. That's how I have to behave, I guess, in this world to survive. That's that layering. And this show is about easily and comfortably letting go of that and remembering who you are. Even when things do not seem to be working out, know that if you aren't conscious of it, even if you're not conscious of it, all that you have chosen so far is in accordance with your soul's plan. We're here to learn. There are tests that we've taken in school that we didn't do so well on. There are things that we've experienced at work or with our family that just really aren't very smooth. They're kind of rough. So this is where objective individuality is important. Take a breath, breathe. Just breathe. Take a breath. Take time before reacting. This is what objectivity is. Take time before reacting. It's the ability to maintain a realistic perspective and keep your personal biases to a minimum. And all you need to do is just take a breath and take time before reacting. So this is the soul star activation. This is remembering who you are. All right, my dear Laurel, you're on first. So what we do, if you're new to the show, in the order that you came into the show, and we've got everybody on Facebook, yes. Which is Abby and Marilyn too. Are they here?
They're not on yet.
Okay. And I wanted to thank Kat and Jared. Thank you so much. And Laurel, thank you so much for your contribution. Marilyn, thank you so much. Linz and Austin, thank you. Really, really appreciate you being here and helping us keep the show going. Okay, Laurel, here we go. All right, my dear Laurel, you actually got two cards. So if you're new to the show, I shuffle through the cards, and your soul, the way I look at it, is the one that picks the cards. It's the ones that fall out of the deck. So Laurel, you've got two of them. And what a great message, Laurel. Thank you for being on first. It's like things work out for a reason. So this sets the whole precedent for everybody on the show. So Marilyn, Diane, Lindsay and Austin, Jeff, Jared and Kat, Rochelle, Preston and Kara. Thanks for being here, Kara. Tiffany and Heather. This sets the precedent for the show. You ready for this one? Okay, Laurel, if you're sitting down, you might want to fasten your seatbelt. Got the Fortune card. And you've got the Sun card. Spotlight's on you, girl. I mentioned this on the show, and Kenan shared this with me last week. It takes millions of years for a photon to be able to leave the gravity pull of the sun. And within split seconds, it's here on the earth. Every time you step out into the sun, every time you feel that sunlight on you, those are photons that are billions of years old that escaped from a gravity pull to radiate on you. You don't think you're important? You don't think that there are miracles? Who are you not to be in the spotlight? Who are you not to shine, Laurel? Marilyn, Diane, everybody on the show. Who are we not to shine? This is so the way that Kenan and I have been very fortunate to know about these gifts that we have that we're able to share with people and help. But every one of you has your own unique ability to contribute toward this evolution of consciousness, raising consciousness, helping people remember who they are. So the more that you remember who you are, the more you help other people remember who they are. It may not be through a show on YouTube or Facebook or Twitch, and it may not be reading cards. That's just how Kenan and I function. It's just how we've been raised and what works for us. Laurel, this is your singing, and this is the fortune card. So with every one of you, when you take a look at who you are, where you've come, I love this quote. This 85-year-old was asked, "Oh, how old are you?" "Oh, I'm 21." They're like, "Really?" They go, "Yeah, I'm 21, but I have 65 years of experience." And I love that. I love that spirit doesn't look at age. It looks at who you are, what you've done, what you can contribute. And this is you building your fortune, Laurel. So think about, universe, show me now, on this earth, they work with this thing called money. Help me understand that money better. Give me more of this, because then I'm able to contribute to my own consciousness, to my own growth. You can use it to visit holy places or high energy places, wherever that may be, whatever may appeal to you, whether it's the ruins in Greece, whether it's going to the outback of Australia and visiting the Aborigines. It's whatever your dream is, Laurel. How, universe, show me now how to dream bigger. Show me now how to create bigger. Show me now how to create more. Okay? So you call on Eartha Kitt. Who else can you call on? Okay.
Marilyn Pitts.
Okay, my dear Marilyn. Miss Marilyn Pitts. Okay. So let me explain dissipative structure. This is the Tower card. The easiest way I can describe it, Marilyn, is this, and I've told you before, I've shared this with you on the show before, but maybe this will give you a better visual. People go, "Oh, I just want to be enlightened. I just want to reach higher levels of understanding of, ecstasy and just spirituality." But they really actually have no idea how to get there. The fact is that remembering who we are, that means the sandbags that are anchoring the balloon need to fall off. Now, they don't use sandbags so much anymore, but when hot air balloons came into fashion, they would have sandbags, and they would drop the sandbags off, and then that would cause the balloon to go higher. It's letting go of who we think we are and actually becoming who we really are. And that's called a dissipation of structure. So it can actually get a little bit shaky. It's really good for the hot air balloon. It's not so good for the sandbag, because the sandbag's probably going to fall several hundred feet and hit the ground and split open. There are people and situations that are leaving your field, and it can be uncomfortable. So you're a nurse. And I'll use the illustration of somebody breaks their arm. They come to you, and the doctor has to set it before they put it in a cast. That resetting is a little uncomfortable, right, Marilyn? I mean, all of you can imagine that are on the show. When you break your arm, it's this reset, and sometimes it can be really uncomfortable. So this is that reminder that just because you're experiencing a dissipation of structure or a reset or a sandbag dropping off or people dropping off of your field that no longer serve you, that don't contribute to you remembering who you are, because they don't want to remember who they are, and you can appear to them to be a threat, they're going to drop off. They need to drop off in order for you to ascend. And sometimes that's not always easy. But Ken and I were talking, we've done this before. We've been here a few times. And it's just a matter of remembering and coming back to really who you are. I hope, so just this energy of helping you move through that dissipative structure, and I've told this before, it comes from the Nobel Prize winning Ilya Prigogine. Ilya Prigogine, Prigogine, studied or came up with this theory of dissipative structures. He studied these beetles in South America. They were all brown. They lived on a brown log. And when he hit the log, they would fly up in chaos, complete chaos. And then they would land on flowers and leaves, and they would turn the color of the flower, turn the color of the leaf. And that hit on the log, that chaos, created a whole new looking beetle. Okay? So this chaos occurs before the jump into another aspect of actually knowing who you are. All right, hope that helps. Here we go. All right, Diney. This is getting your power back. I've got that stuff in the mail today or yesterday, so I'll get it to you. Hopefully this week I'll get that to you. So this is getting your power back. Knowing who you are, claiming your power. Get it? Claim it, claim it, claim it. Okay? All right, Lindsay, Austin. So, Lindsay, this is kind of like, this is similar to Marilyn's card with the dissipation of structure. This is called the defeat card. So let me explain how tough it was for me, Laurel, Marilyn, Diane, Jeff, I think. Tiffany. Growing up. We actually, this is kind of hard for me to share, but Lindsay, you need to hear this. When there was a television program on that we didn't want to watch, we had to get up off the couch walk over to the TV and had to manually change the channel. It was, I know, we had a very deprived childhood. It was really sad. If anybody else remembers having to do that compared to what we have now, right? With the clicker, clicker. This is, you can look back on that time as, so I'm using this as an illustration. You can use, I had a horrible childhood because we had to manually change, we had to get up and manually change the TV. No, or you can go, you know what? I'm really loving it now. Like now you don't even have to get off the couch. You can just automatically change the channel. This is it becoming easier and easier for you to change the channel. If you're watching a horror program up here, if you're watching a soap opera, if you're watching gloom, despair, an agony on me, deep dark depression, excessive misery, remember to automatically change the channel. Even if you have to get up, walk across the room, and manually change the channel, do it. In other words, do something to keep your mind occupied. Get out of your mind. Get out of your mind. Be free of focusing on defeat. Because, we had to get up off the couch, up on our feet, walk over to the TV, and switch it. Be free of focusing on defeat. It's happening for you. It's going much easier. But when you are watching a program up here, change the channel. There used to be an old Carol Burnett skit where this husband and wife went to a party, and the husband was always like telling really obscure, really irritating the wife. And so they devised a signal between them. The wife would give the husband the signal like, don't talk about that. But rather than go like this, she'd go, change the channel. Now, I know if any of you know sign language, I don't think that's a good signal. But my point is change the channel. Okay. All right, Austin. Okay, you're strong like bull. Austin, take a look at your ancestry. All right. This is remembering who you are and switching influences from the past generationally. People ancestry that were involved in war, they may have come home and been viewed as heroes, but inside they may not have felt like a hero. This is something passed down through your family, and you remembering who you are apart from that past, from that ancestry of these people that it's like grandfather, great grandfather, that may have been in the war but passed on this defeatism. This is you coming into your own power and remembering your own strength. It's remembering who you are and what you've created and moving forward, and give it more than one shot. So when you go to the archery range, you only take one arrow with you, right? And then once you fire the arrow, you go home. No. I mean, I haven't been to an archery range since I was like in 9th grade. But as I remember, you have a quiver full of arrows. Keep firing the shots. Don't give up. Don't give up. Don't give up. So whatever you're working on right now, quiver full of arrow. It's not just one arrow. And Lindsay, this goes for you. It's not just one arrow. Keep going. You got a quiver full. You're hitting the target, and you're going to hit the target. Okay. Jeffrey. Hey, Jeff. Thanks for being here. All right. Okay, Jeff. Immediately they showed me Harrison Ford and Mark Hamill in Star Wars, and in the original movie, the first movie, and Mark Hamill is Luke, right? He's firing at the bad guys in the spaceship, and he finally yells, "I got one! I got one!" And Harrison Ford goes, "Don't get cocky, kid." I love that. This is the victory card. In anywhere, Jeff. Oh, okay. I'm going to talk to everybody here. Anywhere we've had victories and then a letdown. Are you... It's about every day of the journey, not just the victory. So the 1 kilometer or the 100-meter race, you train for days and weeks and months, and then you win the race. But it's everything that's built up to that. Take a look at how far you've come, and every day was a victory. Every day that you trained. And then once you win the race, then you just begin to train over again for the next race. And so that is a victory. So when rather than being let down for when you have a really good day and a really, really good victory, going to the next day going, okay, I'm going to rest, but I'm excited because there's another victory around the corner. And that day after the victory is a victory. And the next day after that is a victory. And so I love how Laurel on Facebook, if all of you are friends with Laurel on Facebook, you know that every morning she posts a picture of herself, and it's like a bright, shining, go have a great day, happy Monday, she'll say happy Tuesday, and it gets you going. That's who you are. So you've had victories, but you're going to have more victories. Focus on that and not the so-called downtime or the training time in between. Okay. Hey, Jared. Hey, Kat. All right, Jared. All right, let me get a blank page here. If you're energetically up here, okay, and you're moving, let me see. If you're energetically up here, Jared, you've taken, and this is, I'm going to talk to everybody here. You've taken steps. I'm not going to necessarily draw straight lines, but you got this arrow. You're moving upward. This is where you're at. down here is where most people, because you used to be down here, most people are still here. Family, friends, and they're wanting you, oh, Jared, you're so high up here. Can you compromise and come down here and we'll try to come up here to meet you. Jared, in any way, shape, or form, energetically, are you willing to let go of compromising who you are, what you're going for, in order to appease or come back down to this level? So I'm talking to Heather and Jessica and Preston on this one. Yeah, so this is where, are you willing to let go of being down here or compromising who you are to appease someone you perceive loves you or should love you because they're family? Okay. This is moving forward, Jared. And so that you're, because this feeling sometimes of futility isn't really yours. So if we all take a breath, we breathed in 10 to the 22nd power of atoms, right? That's 1,000,000 atoms from everything and everyone that has ever lived or is living. So we're all in this physical kind of soup. And a lot of times we pick up from people at this level that are down here that don't remember who they are. And sometimes we think, oh, we're picking up their radio station, and that's us. It's not you. It's not you. It's not futile. And those people will drop off. Those people that are trying to be an influence in your life, or it's the whole, well, you have to honor your father and mother type of thing. It's like, there's a point to that where when it becomes invasive, it's no longer appropriate. All right, Kat. Kat. Show me, universe. Make visible what is invisible. Make visible what I am not seeing. Show me the truth now. Show me the truth now. You are absolutely capable seeing the truth is pure magic. If people are broadcasting their truth, likely it's probably not the truth. People that are actually in the truth and know the truth and are who they are don't need to broadcast it from a microphone or from a position of authority. That's where your true power comes in, and it's absolutely remembering who you are in this power. Oh, I like pigs, right? Pigs are fine. There's nothing wrong with pigs. But if they annoy you because they're laying in the mud, that's the nature of pigs. So you can use a lot of time and energy washing a pig off, but they're going to go right back to the mud. They're going to go right back to the dirt. And even dogs. Like I've had dogs where you wash them and you bathe them and they go roll in something dead because it smells good to them, I guess, right? It's not your job, nor do you have to expend energy, Kat, to change the nature of a pig. Yeah, it's just like, or continually washing pigs off or making excuses or that type of thing. This is being who you truly are, and then removing your energy from allowing other people. I know it sounds insulting if I call them pigs, but you get my illustration, right? This is removing your energy and moving on. So it's very similar to Jared's card about the futility card, but this is using your magic and just moving ahead and ascending. Magically, miracles happen. Hey, Rochelle. Happy Sunday. I'm so glad you're here. And then we've got, after Rochelle, we've got Preston and Kara, Tiffany and Heather and Jessica. So Rochelle, when the fog is bad, you don't drive. So, you know that scene in Gone with the Wind at the very end where Scarlett O'Hara thinks that she loves Rhett and she's running through the fog going, Rhett, Rhett, Rhett. And then she stops. She's like, what do I really want? She's like, Tara. I want Tara, which was her land. A lot of times we spend running through the fog. This is the fog lifting for you, Rochelle. But it takes us running through the fog to realize we don't want Rhett. We want Tara. And the fog metaphorically lifts. So for me, it was a great scene where metaphorically in her mind the fog lifted, but she had to run through the fog to realize what it is that she really wanted. It wasn't Rhett, it was Tara. And so this is you breaking, it's called the Princess of Cups. It's breaking through the fog. and getting clarity. And so we go through these so my mom in my book, she spent 35 years with my dad. Abusive relationship. Anyway, read my book. I'm not going to get into it. I know you've read my book, Rochelle, but my point of telling you that story is when she really woke up was the night my grandfather died. And how the story goes, there's a spoiler alert here if you haven't read my book, is I was about 6 years old. We were in northern Idaho. I walked by the picture windows, and my grandfather's out in the yard, and there's this light around him. I run and tell my mom. My mom's like, "Go away, go play. You know he's in Nebraska. He lives in Nebraska. He's not out in the yard." And 10 minutes later, we get a phone call that he had passed. So he actually was in the yard. But it was a wake up. That was what it helped her see all of a sudden a bigger picture. So this is the fog lifting or looking beyond the fog for you. Things are opening up. So thank you for being here. I'm going to share that message with Laurel and Marilyn and Diane and Lindsay and Austin, Jeff, Jared and Kat, Preston and Kara, Tiffany, Heather, and Jessica. That same message that sometimes we feel like we're in a fog, but we get Tara. Okay. All right, Preston. Here we go. Anywhere, Preston, where you have compromised who you are you willing to let go of that? This is the walk silently, carry a big stick card. It's you in the next 2-3 months really, really coming down into your major power. Like never before. And anywhere you're a leader, you're stepping up into a leadership position, and anywhere where you have been what's the word? Is it what's emasculated mean?
Like disempowered as a man?
Where you've been disempowered. Or allowed yourself to be disempowered because you've given your power away. This is you coming fully back into your power, Preston, in a way that you've actually never been before. And no apologies. No apologies. This is setting the boundaries, letting no one mess with you ever again. Because you don't really mess with somebody that's carrying a giant stick that's on fire. I'm not recommending you go buy a giant stick and set it on fire, but I'm talking about this metaphorically. This is you coming into your power and being in your power. No doubt about it. Boom. Money, status, wealth, no apologies. Kara, thanks for being here. So, Kara, anywhere where your peers have deemed you as wrong or made fun of you or looked down on you, This is your light. This is who you are as a person. You're up here. Remember, I shared this with Jared. You're up here, and these people do their best to drag you down by putting you down. Sarcasm means to rip apart. It's not a healthy thing to do, or a healthy thing to be done to you, or even permitting it. This is a lot like Preston, where you're free of allowing anyone's opinion to influence you, or their energies, that energy behind that opinion. This is the devil card, which means, well, for number one, it means to play, and to play without any judgment. So when you watch children, you don't say to the children, "Oh, you know what? You're not playing right." Yeah, no. You can't play color, and no, you have to stay in the lines. Or you know what? You're not playing tag right. You just let them play. There's no judgment on kids, right? Especially when they're playing, they're simply enjoying themselves. This is you moving into enjoying yourself more, and forget about the negative people criticizing for how you play or how you live your life. Okay, hope that helps. Hey, Tiff. Tiffany, go for a really good massage. Have them work on okay, you're doing really good, Tiff. Releasing this energy around the lower back, the kidney area, which is, I will just tell you this, Tiffany, you got this. You got this. This is letting go of all that fear. Kidneys, if you look up the symbology of kidneys, it's about fear. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with your kidneys, but I'm just saying a massage, like hands-on, you're needing a massage. You're needing to move some energy and letting go of fear, and any disappointment, letting go of any disappointment in yourself, or a feeling of unreadiness. You remember who you are. You've already been through the hardest thing anybody can go through in this life. You have got this. Because one of your attributes, one of the things that you're really good at, is helping people release their fear, whatever that is. There's something around a book. It doesn't have to be a 500-page War and Peace book. It can be just even booklets. It's something about helping people release the fear, and in that way remember who they are. So it's like Marilyn Pitts, her and her husband Larry wrote this article about how Marilyn helped save Larry's life. And that was very impactful. It was very impactful for people that read it. They've been able to speak about it. it's you are one of the greatest. Move into your ability to reassure people. You have an ability to reassure people, and it's extremely powerful. It helps them to release their fear. All right, Heather, thank you for being here. Oh, okay, Heather, you got 2 cards. Heather, wait for it. Wait for it. Last week I bought a couple of hibiscus plants. And one is like blooming like crazy. And the other one's like, it's got buds, but it's not blooming. So every 10 minutes I go out to check it. Excuse me, I'll be right back because it's been over 20 minutes since I've checked it. Hang on. No, I don't do that, Heather. But I think you get my point. It's going to bloom when it's dang dong good ready to bloom. It's going to bloom. It's going to bloom for you. It's not... It may not be in the time frame that you think it's going to bloom, like this hibiscus plant. But I did read an article on the research that they've done, like for plants. Plants can even tell what color you're wearing now. They've done research. They really believe that they're sentient beings. So you can talk to the plant. You can tell it how beautiful it is, send it really good energy. So whatever it is that you're creating, you wait for it, but in the meantime, you bless it. And bless it by saying, universe, let this work out like the way I'm imagining or something better. Because then you've got, Heather, the abundance card. So toward the end of the show, so I love this. So Laurel got the sun card. She was the first one on the show. Laurel got the sun card and the fortune card. Toward the end of the show, Heather, you've got the abundance card and the prudence card. So both of those cards fell out at the same time. It's important for you to dance. I don't know if you used to dance, cheerleader, or whatever. There's something about this movement that you're wanting, that's important for you to get back into. This is moving it's moving the torso. It's there actually even yoga is, Kenan is a yoga teacher. There's something about the pelvic region, the lower abdomen, that's important for you to move gently, but it will help you move this creative energy, the kundalini, that creative energy. But that's the abundance here. There's even here in Phoenix, there's things called stretch labs that help you stretch. There's something with the hip area that's really important for you, but also movement. But this is the abundance card, so you've got that. All right, Jessica. So this is the gain card. Look at what you have. You know, when I was a kid, there was no such thing as Coinstar. If you had a bucket full of change, you manually counted it, right? If you wanted a comic book, you were particularly adept at counting your change. Are you willing to give yourself a little bit more credit? Like, for who you are? And look at the gains, because it's kind of like once you take a look at the money that you have, then you can know how much to spend on groceries, but then you can invest the rest. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like it's taking. Can you take a closer inventory about how they're showing me you don't have just like a coffee can full of change. You have like huge water jugs full of change. And I use that metaphorically. You have way more value than what you're looking at. But are you willing to let go of, well, you know, if I look at really who I am, that's ego, and ego is bad. There's a good kind of ego that helps us to brush our hair in the morning and brush our teeth, take a shower, get dressed, look nice. That's a balanced ego. I'm not. So anywhere where there have been egotistical people in your life, you're not them. You will never be them, Jessica. So, but you can also go 180 degrees the opposite direction. You will never be tagged as egotistical. And anywhere where you have been tagged as egotistical, or have had egotistical people in your life, and you're not wanting to be like them and pushing you the other direction, this is coming back to your gain. This is like looking at your value and looking at it objectively. I've met you. There was no ego with you, an inflamed or higher, you know what I'm saying? Egotistical. There was no egotistical with you. So then you come back into balance, and then your gain begins to grow. Your path, that fog begins to clear. Okay? Got everybody?
That's everybody.
Are Abby or Marilyn?
Yeah, come on.
Okay. All right. I love you all very, very much. Thank you. We'll do this again tomorrow night. But wait, there's more, and we'll do it tomorrow night. Love you all. Have a great night.